In April 1923, a wealthy British aristocrat named Lord Carnarvon lay in a Cairo hotel room, suffering from a severe fever. He had accidentally sliced open a mosquito bite while shaving, and the infection was slowly killing him. At exactly 1:55 a.m., he took his final breath. At that exact minute, the lights flickered and went out. The entire city of Cairo plunged into a sudden, massive blackout. At the exact very same moment, thousands of miles away in rural England, Carnarvon's pet dog Susie suddenly sat up, let out a piercing howl, and dropped dead. These three synchronized events, a dead lord, a dark city, and a howling dog, fused together in the public imagination. The legend of the mummy's curse had its origin story. To understand why the world panicked, we have to rewind 5 months to November 1922. After years of failure, British archaeologist Howard Carter was on his final funded dig in Egypt's Valley of the Kings. Carter revealed a discovery of staggering scale, a sealed doorway leading to over 5,000 pristine artifacts, including a solid gold coffin and a spectacular death mask belonging to Tutankhamun. But the celebration was immediately shadowed by a disturbing omen. Carter had a pet canary he kept in a brass cage at his home. Shortly after opening the tomb, an assistant arrived to find a live cobra, the sacred symbol of Egyptian royalty, inside the cage, swallowing the bird whole. Soon after, newspapers began reporting a chilling warning, allegedly found inscribed near the tomb's entrance. "Death shall come on swift wings to whoever disturbs the peace of the Pharaoh." The combination of immense gold treasure, eerie animal omens, and a written threat from the grave primed the public for a state of mass panic. After Carnarvon's death, a terrifying pattern emerged. The radiologist who x-rayed the mummy suddenly fell ill and died. An American financier visited the tomb and died of a fever the next day. When the expedition's secretary passed away, his 78-year-old father jumped from a London window. The fear reached a fever pitch in 1926, when scientists finally unwrapped the 3,000-year-old remains of King Tutankhamun to conduct an autopsy. As we can see in this side-by-side comparison, the medical examiners found a distinct circular lesion on the mummy's left cheek. It was located in the exact same spot where the infected mosquito had bitten Lord Carnarvon. This physical match between a mummified king and a dead British lord erased any remaining skepticism, solidifying the idea of a supernatural hex in the media. But the actual boy inside the sarcophagus tells a much different story than the newspapers. Tutankhamun was a severely disabled 18-year-old boy, the product of extreme royal incest spanning multiple generations. Modern analysis reveals he suffered from severe malaria, bone necrosis, and a debilitating clubfoot. He couldn't even walk without assistance, which is why archaeologists found over 130 walking sticks buried alongside him. The 1920s media invented a terrifying, dark sorcerer striking down his enemies from beyond the grave. The reality was a highly vulnerable, chronically ill teenager who barely survived his own short reign. When we apply basic science and chronology to the viral claims, the magic evaporates. In the 1920s, the Cairo power grid was incredibly unreliable. Blackouts happened all the time. And because of time zone differences, Carnarvon's dog actually died several hours after the lord passed away. In the pre-penicillin era of 1923, an infected cut in the Egyptian heat often proved fatal. A simple mosquito bite was a biological death sentence, not a supernatural one. Later investigations into the health of the excavators revealed that many suffered from respiratory inflammation caused by Aspergillus niger, an ancient fungus that survives inside closed tombs. It causes severe flu-like symptoms, but it is entirely treatable with basic medicine. Look at this chart analyzing the 44 Westerners present during the tomb's excavation. It shows their average age of death was 73 years old. Those exposed to the tomb actually lived slightly longer than the average life expectancy for their social class. Every single element of the supernatural hex collapses when exposed to statistical data, basic chronology, and modern biology. But what about that terrifying inscription, the swift wings of death? Decades later, a tomb security guard confessed that the text never existed. An amateur reporter had asked him about rumors of a curse, The guard simply smiled and said nothing, leaving the reporter to invent the inscription to sell papers. The ultimate proof against the curse is target number 1, Howard Carter himself. He was the man who physically breached the sealed door and pulled the pharaoh from his coffin. Carter lived for 16 more years after opening the tomb, dying of natural causes at age 64. Whenever reporters asked him about the supernatural threat, he would dryly respond, "I am still alive." Sensationalist journalism and confirmation bias transformed a series of mundane events into a global legend. Ancient Egyptians held a specific belief about mortality. They thought a person only suffered the true, final death when their name was completely forgotten by the living. Tutankhamun's successors saw him as an illegitimate ruler. They intentionally chipped his name off the monuments, erased him from the historical record, and left him alone in the dark for 3 millennia. Then, an archaeologist cleared away the rubble, and a frenzied media plastered the boy king's name across the front page of every newspaper on Earth. In the end, the manufactured media panic achieved exactly what ancient Egyptian religion intended. It made the forgotten pharaoh immortal.